Let's say you have two Excel workbooks, or more likely two versions of the same workbook that you want to compare. The differences might not be immediately obvious, but could be anything: different data, different formulas, different formatting, and so on. The example here shows two different versions of the same Excel workbook, Staff Listing and Staff Listing version 2. We need to compare both and view the differences. The files don't need to be open to do this, but we do need to launch the Spreadsheet Compare application. You can either launch it from the MS Office Tools menu, or, and I prefer to do this, type Spreadsheet Compare into the Windows search box, then click on the application to launch it. Next, we can open the two files that we want to compare. Click the Compare Files button on the ribbon. The dialog box prompts you to select both files. First, the older file, and then the newer version of the file. And then click OK. So what you see now is the results of the comparison appearing in a two-pane grid and using colour to highlight the differences. The older file is on the left of the grid and the newer version on the right. In the bottom left of the grid is a colour legend indicating the different types of change. In our example, we predominantly have different values, that is text and numbers, which are shown in green, a couple of different calculated values shown in turquoise, and one different formula shown in purple. These options can be enabled and disabled. For example, if I clear the selection and then select just entered values and formulas, you can see those changes in the two worksheets shown by the fill colour. At the bottom of the grid, you can also see the results pane giving details of those changes. So, for example, cell G19 shows a different percentage in the formula. In the original, the bonus was calculated as the salary times 2.45%, but in the newer version, the same cell was calculated as the salary times 3.5%. The one difference that hasn't been highlighted is any new data that was added to the newer version. This is an option that can be enabled. Click the Options button on the ribbon and then select Process Cell Contents in Inserted Rows Columns, and then click OK. You'll see that extra row in version 2 of my worksheet is now highlighted. There's also a chart in the bottom right of the grid that provides a number count of all the differences, entered values and formulas. There are two further options that could be useful. First, the Show Formulas button on the ribbon. This lets you toggle between Formulas View and Normal View. Secondly, there's an Export Results button, which will export the results pane into a separate worksheet. Well, I hope you found that useful. Remember, the next time you need to compare two Excel files, use Spreadsheet Compare.